Pullman police say the death of a 19-year-old WSU student this week was likely alcohol-related. What police are now saying about the Good Samaritan law. And a new bus service wants to take you from Spokane to Seattle for just $10. How you can get tickets. And we have a winner for this year's Tom's Turkey Drive t-shirt contest. Tonight we'll reveal the winning artwork and surprise the artist behind it. A look at policy change and possible charges. A WSU student's alcohol-related death. 19-year-old Samuel Martinez died earlier this week, and now police are trying to decide the best approach. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan. The state's Good Samaritan law could apply in this case because fraternity members did call for help, but it was too late. Now investigators say charges are possible. KREM 2's Taylor Vito joins us live from Pullman to break down the latest. Taylor.
Well, notably, Pullman police say they want to hold someone accountable in this case. This student was a minor who may have had access to alcohol, but at the same time, police say they don't want to scare away students from calling for help in the future.
A needless, senseless loss, something that is very preventable.
Words from Pullman's police chief that feel all too true this week. On Tuesday morning, fraternity members found 19-year-old Sam Martinez unconscious at the Alpha Tau Omega house. He was later pronounced dead, and investigators say alcohol may have played a role. Detectives were still collecting evidence today. After the autopsy results are in, they will meet with prosecutors. The question, should criminal charges be considered in this case?
You know, it's very sad to lose a life period, but we're talking about a young person with a bright future.
Chief Gary Jenkins says it's somewhat of a balancing act. On one hand, Washington's Good Samaritan law. It states that people can't face drug or alcohol possession charges if they're calling for medical help during an overdose. The law is designed to encourage people to get help and prevent deaths. But the law doesn't address charges like providing alcohol to minors. And in this case, police say they may pursue that.
Want to hold people accountable for their actions that obviously lead to someone's death, but we also don't want to discourage people in the future from calling when someone needs medical assistance as a result of drug or alcohol overdose.
At the start of each school year, police emphasize the Good Samaritan law to new students. They want them to call, but they don't want that feeling to go away if they pursue charges on the person who provided alcohol in a student's death.
Because we want to encourage people to call and not have to worry about being prosecuted for a possession of drugs or alcohol.
Well, as we've reported, the school's Interfraternity Council has canceled all social events for now. They declined additional comment today, but said that they're focusing on supporting students and the community. Live in Pullman, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
Taylor, thank you very much. Now leaders at WSU plan to reflect on their alcohol policies. The school believes a lot of kids enter college thinking partying is part of college life. Right now, all incoming students go through 3 mandatory alcohol and substance abuse training courses.
I think when people have misperceptions about what life in college is really about, it causes them to make decisions that are not good for themselves personally. And so it's important for us, for people to really understand what reality is like on a college campus, that the reality is very different than the perception.
Pullman police are in charge of this case because it happened off campus. We are tracking some breaking news at this hour. New election numbers coming in from the Spokane County Elections Office. Breanne Beggs is now leading Cindy Wendell by 503 votes. This means the Spokane City Council president's race is no longer in the mandatory recount range. There are still 3,500 ballots left to count, so we will continue to keep you updated as more updates roll in. You can always check, of course, on our website, krem.com. All right, switching gears to weather now. Rain is on the way to end the week, but we're also expecting warmer weather. Let's get straight to meteorologist Thomas Patrick in the Weather Center. And Thomas, in Taylor's live shot, we saw it's pretty foggy down in Pullman.
Yeah, I was actually going to reference that as well. Pullman actually is the only location in the inland northwest that is reporting some heavy fog at the moment. The Pullman Moscow Airport is what you see on the screen, reporting quarter-mile visibility. Of course, that is also throughout the WSU campus as well. Otherwise, not bad elsewhere. In terms of fog, we'll also take a look at Lookout Pass. And here's the thing, it's not just the road that we can see, but you can even see the tree line behind the road. So that bodes well for this camera shot, knowing that the fog isn't as thick over the mountain passes. Now, the rain and the warmer weather is actually coming from this swirl in the Gulf of Alaska. That low pressure area is not only spinning to our north and west, but it has got that southerly flow out ahead of it. So that's what we're watching for, not only for warmer days ahead, but that chance for rain for tomorrow. And I'll be timing that out coming in about 10 minutes time right here on the broadcast.
Sounds good, Thomas. Thank you very much. Lewiston police are asking for your help to find a missing 16-year-old girl. Katriana Torgeson was last seen in Moscow leaving for school nearly 10 days ago. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you are urged to call Lewiston police. That number is right there at the bottom of your screen.
It was terrifying, and not knowing, what was happening, not hearing from your child. It's the most terrifying thing in the whole world.
That's what parents were saying after gunshots were fired at a high school north of Los Angeles today. At least 2 people died and 3 others were injured. The suspected gunman, who was a student as well, is in custody. Police say he was brought to the hospital in serious condition after shooting himself in the head. The school's campus has dozens of security cameras, but no metal detectors, we're told. Public hearings continue tomorrow for the impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump. Tomorrow, lawmakers will hear from a former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. She was recalled from her post in May. 8 more witnesses will testify next week, and after that, a report will be submitted to the Judiciary Panel, which will oversee the impeachment process. You can watch the hearing live tomorrow on our Facebook or on the KREM 2 mobile app.
Well, I think what I've decided is you can't know if you can break through if you don't get out there and try.
Former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick is joining the 2020 Democratic presidential race. He was in New Hampshire this morning to add his name to the ballot. He served 2 terms as governor until 2015. Patrick joins 17 other candidates in the race. 10 of those candidates will take the stage next Wednesday in Georgia for the 5th Democratic debate. Travel from Spokane to Seattle is about to get much cheaper. A new bus service is coming to Spokane with trips starting at just $9.99. And we want to know what you think. Would you try out this new service? Let us know by clicking on the KREM 2 mobile app and voting. In the meantime, KREM 2 Shayna Waldtower tells us people seem pretty excited about this change.
Yeah, right now I'm here at the Intermodal Center, which is where buses and trains take people from right here in Spokane to all over the state and even the country. But starting just next week, there'll be another bus system coming to the city that will take people from Spokane to Seattle for a pretty low cost. With low starting at $9.99. If you've taken the Greyhound bus, you know that tickets average around $60 for a cross-state trip. Or if you're driving, gas can be at least $35. So a $10 ride over the mountains checks out at a much better deal. The eco-friendly Flix bus is going to bring savings for riders.
Absolutely. It's a one-way trip to see my family.
For those who frequently travel to visit family, this bus will make the trip less of a concern.
I'm dealing with a situation right now with housing and stuff. I mean, I got a house, but just moving to a different place, it's just frustrating. But to get to my family, it'd be nice to see my family.
Better than paying $80 in gas getting to Seattle and $10 to get there. Convenient for me as a single mom, so that'd be awesome.
Right now, the buses will take 1 trip in each direction every day. That amount could increase if the rides become more popular. The prices will work like buying plane tickets, so they may be more expensive on days with higher demand, such as weekends or holidays. Each bus can hold about 52 people. And Coeur d'Alene, you're not left out. On Friday through Sunday, there's a route that goes to Spokane, makes a stop at Central Washington University, and then continues on to Seattle. Buses are set to start running next Thursday. Shayna Waldtower, KREM 2 News.
All right, we asked you before that story, would you take this new bus option? And 65% right now saying definitely, another 15% saying maybe. So thank you for weighing in on our poll. WSU Spokane is offering free healthcare services to homeless and low-income people and their pets tomorrow. The free clinic will be hosted tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. The clinics offer vaccinations, health screenings, and simple treatments to people and pets at no cost. WSU nursing and veterinary students will be running the clinic there. The University of Washington is taking part in the largest study to find out more about aging in dogs. Scientists will study 10,000 dogs of all breeds. Researchers will collect DNA samples, gut microbes, and information on what foods they eat. 500 dogs will also be tested, and they'll test a pill that could slow their aging process. Researchers hope this study will shed light on human longevity as well. Nike is releasing a new shoe that's designed with doctors and nurses in mind. It's called the Nike Air Zoom Pulse. The shoe will be laceless with a protective coating for easy cleaning. It's also designed to be more comfortable and comes with an elastic strap.
I thought it was cool. I think if you're going to make shoes for a specific profession, you really need to ask the people who do that work. So that was really nice to be that they wanted our feedback as nurses.
Profits from the shoe will benefit OHSU in Portland. 6 of those shoes were actually designed by patients at the hospital as well. Very cool. Fresh versus frozen. Which do you think is better when it comes to seafood? A new study from Oregon State University shows people actually like frozen fish better. Over the last 4 years, researchers have been conducting blind taste tests on everything from albacore tuna to scallops. Even high-end restaurant chefs chose frozen fish over fresh. Researchers say this likely is because fresh seafood might not be all that fresh after all.
Essentially what we're showing is that when fishermen go out to sea and they can freeze the fish either on the boat or just after coming in, they're locking in the freshness of the product.
Frozen seafood is also much easier on the environment. The amount of materials, packaging, and airplane fuel saved by freezing seafood is significant. The researchers' next study will be to see how long you can keep seafood frozen and maintain its fresh taste.